Jake, you okay?
Just give it a minute. George, happy with that?
Yeah, I was happy with that. I think the main thing always with pre-season games is you hopefully come through with no injuries. Fingers crossed we've done that. A few tired bodies naturally, another 90 minutes, and I think we're looking stronger physically for the games that we've had, and I think with another week's training hopefully we'll get to our optimum level.
Anyone else? Yes, the middle.
Hi, I'm Davide Chinellato with
Hi.
Gazzetta in Italy. Your opinion on Sandro Tonali making his debut in front of your fans? What
Yeah.
did you see from him?
Yeah, very good performance today. I was really pleased with Sandro. I thought played two roles for us. He played as an 8 and a 6 today, and very composed in possession, as he's shown us that he will be. I think I thought out of possession it was probably a step up in his recent performances, so that's great for us to see. And I thought he added composure and quality in the middle of the pitch for us.
Okay, Jordan.
Obviously, Lewis Miley's been a big star pre-season, but how much credit goes to Alex Murphy as well today? Seeing him at the start of the form as well.
Yeah, he did really well today, Alex. I think the beauty of his performances during pre-season is his versatility. So he's played left back, left side centre half, and today right side centre half. And I think for a very much left-footed player, that was a challenge for him. But I thought he did really well today, and I think helped by Sven and Kieran's experience alongside him. But I thought we gave a good defensive performance. There was probably one big chance for them today in that first half. Second half was a really good defensive display, I thought, and I think we can be very pleased with that effort. At this minute in time, yes. I don't think it's set in stone, but he's done well enough certainly to continue his journey with us short term, and we hope he keeps progressing and improving.
Just finally on Fabian Shea, he said yesterday the decision has been a decision made on him yet ahead of tomorrow.
Yeah, he won't feature tomorrow. Fabian is close to training and returning to the group, but not in time for this game.
Dominic.
Well, had Tino Livramento at St James's Park today. Is that one you're still in the dark about, or is there any more play?
Yeah, I've been preparing for this game and training this morning with the guys that are playing tomorrow, so I have no update for you.
And Jason Tindall with you in the technical area this afternoon. How do you feel about that not being the case in the Premier League this coming season?
I think he'll be there. I just don't know how far forward he'll be. But as far as I'm aware, he'll certainly be with us. And yes, I think it's probably a 2-3 metre difference. But we'll probably rotate duties to keep it fresh. And so the players hear our voices, because I won't be able to go for 90 minutes. So I think we'll dovetail in and out of the technical area.
Okay, just on the front row.
Goal for Miguel again today. So, I think last season he had his best season for the club so far. What are you expecting? What heights can he hit this year?
Who was that, sorry?
Miguel.
Miguel, yeah, he's such an important player for us. Delighted that he's got a couple of goals in pre-season, because I think that just gives you confidence going into the season. I thought he took his goal really well today. Could have had another one as well. So I think physically he looked very good today, which is always key for Miggy. And yeah, hopefully he can contribute some important goals.
In terms of Fiorentina, where they finished in Serie A last season, in terms of what you might come up against in terms of the Italian teams in Europe this year, how do you kind of rate their level compared to some of those top sides?
That was a good test today. They're a good team. And the difficulty for all teams, I think, with this tournament is you're having to split squads and try and get the balance right between two strong teams. They're no doubt in a similar position to us, but I thought it was an even game. But I thought we had the best chances of the match, and thankfully we took them.
Lee.
I think Matt Target's obviously had a good pre-season there. Do you feel he's now back to that sort of level that he was in his first season here now?
Yeah, I wouldn't say he wasn't at that level last year. I'd say the difficulty is that Dan got in the team and our defensive record was excellent, and I didn't want to change it. So I don't think it was a criticism of Matt's level or how he'd performed. I think Matt's a very consistent player with his performance levels in general. Today again was another steady performance defensively. He contributes with the ball. Him and Dan are very different players, but Dan just had an outstanding season along with our back four, and it was difficult for Matt to get back in. I think there's several for me really tough calls that I've got to make. which is a good position to be in because you don't want the team to pick itself. That's a position you don't. Although it may look like that's what you want, it's not in reality. So I'll have some tough calls to make this week and have an idea of my team, and hopefully it's a winning team.
With Lewis Miley, it feels like he's kind of like really burst onto the scene. If you had to start in a Premier League game, it feels like he could step in there if need be.
Yeah, I think like today was a really good experience for him, no doubt, to play in front of the crowd, top level opposition. I thought he was getting a little bit tired towards the end, so I took him off to try and protect him. And I think that's very much, as I said earlier, that's where I've got to be with him. I've got to protect him and make sure I nurture his talent. Certainly it's important years for him, so we've got to push him, but protect him at the same time. So hopefully I can get that decision right.
Excellent. Craig?
Eddie, the front three you played today was the same front three against Chelsea. They've done very well today, 2 of them have scored. Is that an indication as to you thinking ahead of next weekend?
No, not at all. It's an indication that that's the 3 we played today, but it's not. There's no real clues because I haven't firmed my decision in my head yet. So that's why I sort of laugh at your question, because I want to give every player the opportunity to get themselves into that starting lineup. So I'm going to clear my mind and then see what tomorrow brings, and then it'll be early next week where I firm up my team.
Has perhaps Elliot, more than any other player this summer, given you something really to think about with regards to that 11?
I think he's possibly had the best pre-season that I've seen him have, although that's only limited in my eyes because I think last year he picked up a couple of niggles during that time. But he's pushing, and I want every player in the squad to believe they can play, believe they have the right to play, and deliver when the pressure's on. And he's done that so far. But he's got a huge competition in the area that he's playing in, whether that's in midfield or wide. We've got some top players in there, so that's why I said earlier I've got some tough calls to make.
Just lastly, there's been reports, can you expand on the thinking behind potentially bringing the Milan team manager, Andrea Romeo, to perhaps work alongside Sandro? Is there anything you can say on that?
I've got no idea.
Likewise.
I've got no idea about that. Literally no idea, Craig. So.
Sorry, Craig. Do you have another one, George?
Yeah, I was just going to apologise really. We're always asking you about the same players over and over again. We've seen so much. But Anthony, another really good performance today. He's been another one of the stories of the summer. Do you feel he's ready to properly make an impact now for Newcastle? Does he feel a bit like a new signing?
Yeah, no need to apologise. I enjoy talking about the players that we have. I think Anthony has had a good pre-season. I think he had a really good summer for England. He's definitely come back more confident, possibly. Only he can really answer that. But I see a player with confidence, with huge ability, huge talent. I always think there's more to come from him as well. So I think that's a great thing from my perspective. So yes, he's done really well, but he'll probably be going home kicking himself he hasn't got 2 goals today, especially the one towards the end that he's put over. The other one he's hit the post. But we're seeing a big, I think, improvement in his general performances and certainly his fitness level. So he's in a good place.
One thing that people say a lot is that it takes time to adapt to your way of playing, to your style, to the identity of the team, the intensity. Can you sort of explain a little bit about why that might be difficult?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I've had to think and consider over many years, really, because when you recruit players, you hope they can have an instant impact, as in the day they walk through the door. And I'd say in my experience, there's been very few players, even though they've been unbelievably talented and maybe a higher level than the player we've already had. Sometimes it takes some time to show that. I think it's because we work in quite a complex way. It's not a simple system just to pick up. And we try and make the team have a rhythm and build the relationships of the players in the team. So then when you come in, you might be an outstanding player, but you've got to understand how the team works. Sometimes that does take, difficult to say exactly how long, but sometimes 3 months, sometimes 6, and sometimes the odd player will get it straight away, and that's a great thing from my perspective when that happens.
Kieran?
Eddie, what do you think Tino would have learned from today, seeing St James's from a spectator point of view?
You're very clever.
My dad isn't there.
I don't know. I'm not going to answer that one.
I know you said yesterday you liked it. Can you say what you like about him yet?
I'd prefer not to until anything's signed as I said many times, I'll talk for as long as you want when they're our player. But until that time, I think it's difficult.
Dan Burr mentioned you guys had a team meeting recently where you would attack every game regardless of competition. Have you felt that even with the friendlies today that the team want to do well?
I'm not sure we've had that meeting, but if Dan says we have, then that's fine. That's a major part of my philosophy anyway. So we would have had that meeting maybe a long time ago when we first came to the club. But I don't want to go into any game and not look like we're trying to win and not prepare to win. So to prepare to win, I think for me the best way for us to do that is to try and be front foot and aggressive and take the game to the opposition. We're certainly not going to change that way of playing.
Okay, just in the middle.
Just a question, with the great season you had last year and the run that you had at the end, now that we're 1 week out of the start of the new season, what's the mindset into going into this new Premier League season where you have to maybe not just repeat yourself, but even go that one step further, especially with the Champions League football now coming in as well?
Yeah, I don't think we're trying to look too far ahead. I think that's the key thing for us, is to look really just, I know it's boring and I apologise, but it's really just looking at the first game. And that's the only way that we can prepare. So we can't listen to, talk of the Champions League, talk of what's ahead and look long term. I think for the players who have to enter the pitch and play, they just have to see their direct opponent that they're playing in their next game. And we have to try and beat Aston Villa. That's the only thing in our heads at the moment.
Okay, Simon.
Yeah, you said an interesting thing about Tonali, that out of possession it was a step up on his recent performances. Was that needed, and is it something you've worked on with him and ready for the Premier League?
Yeah, I think we're working on every aspect of his game, as we are the majority of the squad, every single day. I think for Sandro, the reason I said that is just the Premier League is different, and I think he would have found that in the two games that he played in America, where there was a step up in opposition for us, obviously, and just the speed and the sharpness of how the ball moves, where opponents place themselves. But I thought today did really well defensively, and certainly take away anything with the ball. We have to be solid defensively again to have success. So that's always the first sort of thing we look for.
And on the right there, he had some good link-ups early on with Miguel Almiron and Trippier as well, in quite tight situations, which were quite promising.
Yeah, I think he's that kind of player. He's a combiner. He's going to need relationships of good players around him to show his best qualities, I think. And I think in time those will grow, and hopefully we'll see the player that I know he's going to be, hopefully in a Newcastle shirt.
Okay, and last one from Harry at the front.
Eddie, was that the best performance you've seen in midfield without Bruno in the team? Is that because of Tonali being in there and helping? Because the game was played more in the opposition's half, and that was something that Newcastle lacked lately. When Bruno wasn't there, is that something that you saw that improved because of Tonali?
It's a difficult one to answer. Yeah, certainly when Bruno didn't play last year, we missed him. But I think we're always going to miss someone of Bruno's quality when he's not there. So I don't know quite how to answer that question. All I will say is we've got quality midfield players. I've got quality options to pick from this year. If everyone's fit, it's a very difficult midfield to pick. But again, that's what we're going to need in the various competitions that we're competing in.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Good to see you.